Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video about productivity, habits of a productive person, how to motivate yourself to not procrastinate. For me, this is really applicable in my life because I'm kind of like a work from home, student at home kind of a person. While I do have classes in the day, well, it's kind of in the evening time, but only for 2.5 hours usually. So what ends up happening is I do the vast majority of my work outside of class, and I end up having to structure my time so that I can get everything done, be productive, and utilize my day to the fullest extent. And so I feel like these habits that I'm about to talk about are things that are really applicable if you're kind of in that situation, if you need to structure your own day or your own boss, you're a student, but they can also apply to somebody who works a 9 to 5 and then they come home and they have things to do and they're kind of in the habit of pushing those things off or procrastinating on those things. And and that's just something that they're trying to change. So I'm basically going to go through a bunch of habits that will kind of help you become a more productive person. If you're new to my channel, my name is Nadia. I put out new videos every Tuesday. The theme of my channel is self-improvement, mental health, and then I infuse my Islamic values into those conversations. Let me just jump straight into the habits. So the first habit that I would say is to start waking up early. And of course, this is easier said than done, and I have a whole video on how to change your sleep schedule, some things you can do to get yourself to go to bed early and wake up early, and I will put right here, I will put the link so you can click on it, and it will also be in the description box. So my first thing is wake up early, because when you wake up late, you start your day later, and then it's harder to get things done, and then by the time nighttime rolls around and the sun sets, you kind of don't really have the motivation to keep working anymore, and you just overall don't get as much done. And also from like a religious standpoint, from an Islamic standpoint, the Prophet said what means there are blessings in starting one's day early. So that means like waking up, starting your work, there are blessings in doing that religiously. Also, another thing about the early morning is that the time before Fajr, which is the time before the sun rises, is one of the best times in the religion to worship. So if you want to be a really, really early morning riser, you could even get up then and, even be productive, like do some worship and pray or make dua or do something, and then also start your day at that time as well, if you would like. But just waking up early in general, whatever early means to you, is also good. And another habit of productive people is staying organized, but staying organized in all aspects of life. And I really do feel like Islam teaches us to be organized people. There's very organized rules for like what you can and can't do, and very organized rules for like how you should do certain acts of worship and things like that. For example, in Islam, we have set prayer times. There are certain times of the day that we have to do our prayers. That's like an organized form of worship. In Islam, we fast for a month during the month of Ramadan. And during that time, there are set times that we can eat and set times that we have to fast and we have to abstain from eating. We have set amounts of money that we need to donate. That is like obligatory for Muslims to donate at certain times of the year. That's another way that we stay organized in our religious life. In Hajj, for example, when people go to Mecca and perform religious pilgrimage, there are set tasks that you have to do. There's a set number of times that you have to walk around the Kaaba. There's a set number of times that you have to walk between two mountains. There's a set number of times that you have to throw stones at a certain point in Hajj. So there's very organized rituals, I guess you could say, that we have to do as Muslims in our Islamic life, that we can then kind of take that mindset or take that example and then bring it over to our work life or like our health life. Like you can make like a set number of times that you work out a week. And obviously like these things are a bit less stringent, they're a bit less like strict or whatever, because it's not a religious rule, but you can create rules for yourself and then roughly follow them so that you're staying organized in your life. Hey guys, so I was watching back my video as I was editing, and I realized that in the part about staying organized, I didn't actually give any suggestions for how to stay organized in your work life. So I wanted to give a couple of suggestions, one of which I got from my sister-in-law. So the first one is, what you can do is you can make a schedule of your whole day that has every hour written out. So like hour by hour, it has a time block. And during each time block, what you can do is keep track. Okay, how did I spend this hour? What was I doing from 1 hour to the next hour? Did I waste time on my phone, or was I just straight like working that whole time? And then you can tell, you can be like, okay, was I wasting time when I shouldn't have been, or was I just spending all of my work time as I should be? And then you can see after doing that, okay, am I somebody who wastes my time and I don't even realize it, or am I somebody who stays on track and does what I need to get done? And if you are somebody who like wastes time unnecessarily, then you can start making shifts and changes to try to stop doing that. And then another thing you can do is you can time block each hour so that you not only have a to-do list, which is something I think I mentioned later in the video, but you also say, okay, each task that I have on the to-do list is going to be accomplished from this time to this time. And of course it's like a rough estimate, you don't know exactly how long each thing will take, but as you continue to do this, your estimation of how long each task will take you will get better. So that's something you can also do to just keep your work life and the things that you're doing for work as organized as possible. So yeah. So far we have waking up early and staying organized in all the aspects of your life so that staying organized in your work life becomes natural for you. My next habit is to make a plan for each day in a journal, whether this be the night before or the morning of. Like when you wake up in the morning, first thing you do is set out, okay, these are all the things I need to get done today, or you do it the night before and you do the same thing. So for example, I have my journal here. It's like it's a homework planner kind of a thing. And each day, usually the night before, I write down all the different things that I need to get done. So like, for example, today I have 7 things on my list. Basically what I do, I write out everything that I have to do, and then I usually number the 6 most important things that I have to get done. And I number them in the order in which I need to get them done. So like the number 1 most important thing, that's the first thing I have to do, or like it's the thing with the closest deadline or something like that. So I put that at the top of the list, or I put a 1 next to it because I don't always write them in order. And then I just go through the list and I write 1 through 6, and I make sure it's only 6 things. And I got this tip of sticking to only 6 things from Sam Oscarl. She also did a video surrounding productivity, stuff like that. And she was saying that like if you stick to having 6 things on your list that are like must-dos, like have to do these things today, then you won't feel as overwhelmed as if you have like 15 things on your list, for example. Now you can put 15 things on your list and like star 6 of them and be like, okay, these are the things I need to get done today. But just know that if you don't get to all 15, that you didn't fail for the day, you did what you needed to get done. And those things can roll over to the next day. So I have 7 things on my list and I put numbers next to 6 of them. And so yeah, that's just in an effort to keep myself like focused on what I need to get done, not have my mind be overcluttered with all the things that I need to get done. And yeah, just kind of stay on track, be productive. And also in the end of the day or at the end of each task, you will get the immense satisfaction. It's so satisfying for me to cross off each thing off the list. That's gonna be so satisfying, especially if that's not something you're used to doing. Once you get in the habit of doing that, you realize how like relieving and satisfying it is once you accomplish those things and you can cross them off the list. And also like some people don't like writing in journals because they're like, oh, this is a waste of time. Like I know what I have to do in my head. But honestly, like taking the 5 minutes out of your day to write things down in a journal, like these are the things I need to get done today, or to like put things in Google Calendar or whatever it is, taking that time will save you time in the long run because you won't forget about the things that you need to do. You won't feel overwhelmed by how many things you have to get done and things like that. It'll save you stress, it'll save you time in the long run. Another habit of a productive person, something that I would recommend, is giving yourself set amounts of time to work and set amounts of time for a break. So like some people like to use the system, I also got this from a friend in college, some people like to use the system of like 25 minutes work, 5-minute break. And so like literally time yourself, like have your phone out, put on a timer, and make sure that you are focusing and you're not on your phone for that 25 minutes. And then when your 5 minutes start, go on your phone, watch a YouTube video, do something to like get your mind off of your work and then go back to your work, so that you're not like, you know, trying to get something done and then you go on your phone because like you got bored with whatever you're doing, for example. And if you want like longer work intervals, like let's say you're working for 45 minutes and then you take a 10-minute break, that's fine too. Really whatever works for you, whatever you can handle doing. Another habit that I would adopt as a productive person is to reward yourself once you have finished certain tasks. So once you've gotten through like 2 tasks, for example, be like, okay, once I'm done with these 2 tasks, I'm gonna go eat a cookie, for example. Or I'm gonna go watch a little bit of my Netflix show, or I'm gonna go like watch a YouTube video or something. Like, do something so that you are rewarding yourself and you're training yourself to think, this is something that I can do and I can get a reward out of doing it. And so it'll just make you more motivated to continue being productive and to continue getting done what you need to get done. And so once you've like set a plan for yourself and you're like, okay, I'm gonna work for these many minutes, I'm gonna do these many things today and all that stuff, and you've successfully woken up early, stuff like that, you need to start trusting yourself to be that way in the long run. And you need to kind of build that trust within yourself, because I think when people procrastinate, or like they are procrastinators and they do this for like the majority of their life, they learn to believe that that's just how they are, that they are just a procrastinator. That is just who they are. But it's like you have the ability to change your habits. You have the ability to change the way that, you know, you are maybe by default. Just because you have been procrastinating your whole life doesn't mean that you are a procrastinator. So what I mean by learning to trust yourself is like following through. Like, okay, the first couple times that you follow through, let's say you start this day 1 and you've done it for now like 3 days. Learn to use that as like a way to trust yourself and to know, okay, like if I set a plan for myself, I'm gonna follow through on it. And like, don't just assume about yourself that you don't have the ability to follow through on your plans and you don't have the ability to get things done early. Don't believe that about yourself. Believe that you can do those things and show yourself that you can do those things so that you learn to trust yourself. When you make a plan, you will follow through on it. And then the last thing is to just remember to keep this in mind while you're working, but then also once you get to this point in your day to reflect on it. So once you reach the point in your day where you've done all 6 of your tasks, or you've done more than that even, and you know, you woke up early, you did all the things you were trying to get done early, and now you have free time in the evening, or you have free time at the end of the week or something like that. Enjoy that time and like revel in that time, and remember that feeling as well. Like, remember the feeling of having free time with no stress. Because I think what people do when they procrastinate and when they're not productive is they create fake free time for themselves that is not truly free time, because it's not truly stress-free. In the back of your mind, if you're procrastinating, you're on your phone, you're on your computer, whatever, in the back of your mind you have this like voice, or you have this thing telling you there is stuff that you need to get done and you're not doing it right now, and you're just making life harder for yourself. So that free time that you have when you procrastinate is not real free time, and it doesn't really feel like free time. And for me, that's like the hugest motivator to not procrastinate and to not like waste my time as much as I can. Because once I reach that point in my day, or that point in my week where I feel where I'm done with everything I need to get done, I just feel so like relaxed, so relieved, because I know that I've done all the things I need to do. There's no stress. I can watch this movie guilt-free. I don't feel bad in the slightest, because I know that I've done what I needed to get done. I was as productive as I could be. So enjoy that time, revel in it, and just reflect on how different that feels from the fake free time you create for yourself when you procrastinate. So those are all the things that I would suggest if you're trying to become a more productive person and, you know, convince yourself that the procrastinating needs to end. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you can apply some of these things in your life. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for new videos every Tuesday. And I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.